My man Brock.
Hey, how you going? Thanks for having me.
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, good. It's great to be here.
I'm very surprised that this actually happened, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, 24 hours ago, I wasn't even in the States. So considering I'm sitting here in your living room, it's a good place to be.
Mate, it's good to have you.
Thank
I
you.
don't even know how we met the first time,
Yeah.
but we did, right?
We did, yeah. Adam's birthday party, 25th, I think.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Out in Parramatta.
Yeah, that's right.
And I thought, this guy's insane because he just took a plane to get here for Adam's birthday.
No, that's true. Yes.
I still don't
sleep in.
I still don't understand it. Well, ladies and gents, welcome to Talk to Me, the show where I get my friends to talk to me. I've got Brock with me today. I know nothing about him, so that's the cool part of this. I've got no intro for him whatsoever. We'll get into it and we'll learn about you, man.
Awesome.
But we met at Adam's birthday party.
That's right.
And then from there, you started showing up onto our elevator Zoom chats.
Yeah. So, as some of you may know, Adam went traveling for a fair
Most of his life.
Most of his life, that's right. And he happened to stay in Tamworth for around 6 weeks and stayed at our place. And at that time, I got to know him quite well. And our young adults certainly is nowhere near the size of the faith young adults. So it was good to be able to connect while Adam was there and join in with him. And, following that, you guys were kind enough to allow me to keep coming, and it was great to get to know.
Well, mate, you're one of the more normal people that jump onto that chat, so I think why not? But then you did another crazy thing. We say to you, mate, you got to come to our Christmas party in Sydney, and then you go and do that, mate.
Yeah. I happened to line up a couple of things in consecutive days, so everything worked out well.
Mate, I respect it. And now you're here,
Yep.
and you're going back to Queensland tomorrow?
Yeah, fly out 6 a.m. Up to Brizzy.
Okay, so what do you do for work then?
So my family and myself and my business partner, we own a firewood company where we sell wholesale firewood to timber yards. So we have a yard up at Chinchilla. It's about 3.5 hours west of Brizzy, and that's where we cut all our firewood and we send it down in trucks down into Sydney, Blue Mountains. We've got another customer up north near Armidale. So that's pretty much the extent of business.
So you're full firewood, mate.
Yeah,
That's
firewood. Awesome. We're extending out into other timber products as well in probably the next three or so months. But the foundations of it has definitely been firewood.
So that's been getting you to travel a fair bit?
Yeah. So I'm down here at the moment, firstly, to have the Christmas party.
Respect.
But I timed it up well with a load going down to a customer. And since the borders have just opened up as well, it was good to be able to come down and see him, which I was actually before I was at his place before coming here. So.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, I'm sorry that you had to meet Adam and, get close with that guy. That's probably not the best thing. No, I'm joking. I love
he's
Adam.
a good bloke.
Adam's the best.
Shout out, Ads.
Yeah. He spoke about you a lot in his episode, but that's just what he does.
Yeah, I believe there was a segment.
Yeah, a full segment, mate. We talked about how much we liked you, and here we go.
Very humbling.
So talk to me. How'd you become a Christian? What's that story?
Yeah, so I moved to Tamworth when I was 8 and started attending a school, which is a Christian school, where a couple of my very close mates now, their names are Jack and Robbie, and their father is the pastor of our church. And basically there was a church which started up about 9 years ago, and they needed a pastor, so they went and asked Lyndon, who's Jack and Robbie's father, to be the pastor. And I started attending along with them. And after a couple of years, I went to a youth camp. Okay. I was around 12 at the time. And I got challenged that, where ought I go when I pass away? Do I have assurance that I'm going to be going to heaven? And that's at that point in time, I accepted the Lord Jesus Christ as my Saviour, and knew that I was a sinner. And the only way that I can receive forgiveness is through Him. So, in amongst all that, there was some family things which were happening, which led to the reasons why we were going to church. And since then, we've been, attending Harvest, and the greater things are happening.
So Harvest at Tamworth?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. How long you guys been there for now?
So, Harvest started just under 9 years ago. We might have just had, I think we just had our 9th anniversary.
Oh, awesome.
So
Congrats.
basically from the start of that. Yeah.
That's awesome. And what's going on with the church down there? Where are you guys at? What's going on there?
Yeah, so it's a growing church. Considering we're only 9 years old, the Lord's definitely blessed us. We own our own building now, so halfway through 2020, even in the midst of COVID, we were fortunate enough to purchase a block.
Dead set.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
The church raised around, I think, $160,000 collectively
Brilliant.
to put a deposit down, and you know the Lord's blessed us in this this block, and which we've been meeting now for a few years, but we now own it, which is
That's awesome.
really awesome.
That's really cool. So what do you do in church? What's your ministry? What's your go-to? What are you doing?
So there's not a lot of young people there, so I do a lot of the tech side of things and setting up
Stock standard. Yeah.
slideshows.
Find the youngest person you can and get them to do all the tech work.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sounds about right.
And I also I'm on a preaching roster as well.
Okay.
I do Bible college, so I do a mixture of things. Where a relatively small church, so we have about 50 to 60 regulars, yeah, so I've got a few different things happening.
Okay, so then let's get into the whole small church sort of lifestyle then, because Faith hasn't been a small church for years.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
What is it about the small church lifestyle that you find so intriguing or beautiful about it? Because there's a beauty there.
Yeah.
Being in a small church.
With a small church, especially in a country town, you get people which are quite diverse. I know at Faith it's a very big Western Sydney culture because that's,
Just who we are.
That's exactly right. Whereas in Tamworth, we've got people from every different culture across, around the world. We've got Africans, we've got Asians, we've got Australians, we've got a great diversity.
All
of
from
people.
Tammy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I suppose the benefit of that is you get a mixture of different things, and you can work together and see how, God's great in every edge of the world. So,
Yeah. That's really cool, and he's brought them all to Tamworth. So what type of culture is in Tamworth then? So
it's very country. However, we do get a lot of overseas workers come across, and a part of their visa means they have to spend a certain amount of time in the country, which ultimately means they just end up staying there.
Sure.
So it is quite multicultural. It's sort of like Sydney, but on a much smaller scale. You don't have as many younger people around, the 18 to 25, because at that point in time they're off at uni, enjoying the coastal life, want to change
over to the city, something like that.
Yeah, want to taste of the big, the big smoke.
Yep.
We call it out in the country.
Sure. How much do you guys make fun of us?
Not
city
much
people?
at all.
Really?
No.
I feel like it would have been a big thing.
I wouldn't say there's
Okay.
much at all. Maybe when you just come out to the country and just have no idea what he's doing, that's when we sort of
that's a fair call.
laugh and mock and joke. But other than that,
That's a fair call. So Tamworth's been your place for a while now then?
yeah. So since I was 8, I moved to Tamworth from Darwin. So I'm now 20. So yeah, 12 going on 13.
You're how old?
20.
You're 20.
Yeah.
Mate, you look like a brick house. What do you mean you're 20?
Yeah, I'm 20. How old do you think I was?
Mate, I thought 26.
26.
25,
No.
26. You're huge. You're 20, mate.
Yeah. So been in Tamworth quite a while.
Quite a while. So what was it? Do you remember moving from Darwin? Do you remember that move?
Vaguely. So I remember a couple of conversations with, your parents like, oh, do we have to go? Have to leave all our friends? Generic stuff as a young person's leaving a hometown. But other than that, not a whole lot.
Yeah, fair enough. So growing up in Tamworth then, what were the challenges that you faced out there?
So I suppose, Tamworth is that sort of size where it's not too small that you miss out on a whole lot. You still got sport. You still get opportunities to, represent your school at different levels. We had I went to an amazing school. So I wouldn't actually say we missed out on a lot. And I actually think anyone in Tamworth that says, well, we're a country, we're unfortunate, which I don't think that's true. I think Tamworth is the next best thing from city in the way of infrastructure.
It's a pretty good balance, Tamworth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I lived in Newcastle for a couple of years,
Yep.
and they were the later end of my my high school years. So the thing I found about Newcastle, again, Newcastle is not a small place; it's fairly big, But the biggest challenge I found there was how bored everyone was.
Right.
And boredom led to a lot of acting out.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you saw up there. You saw a lot of drugs, alcohol, just a massive decline as people were getting towards 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
Would you say there's the same thing over in Tamworth, or is there...
So I would say in Tamworth, because it's more of that country, you know, four-wheel drive sort of thing, the 17, 18-year-olds get involved with drinking. The drug scene isn't as big until they hit university and move away to likes of Newcastle or Wollongong or you know, go into those types of scenes. But you definitely get that, you know, drinking culture a few years too young, and that four-wheel driving. Yeah.
Do you find it to be a struggle for the church? Do you find it to be a struggle in your own circles?
There's been a couple of incidents over the years throughout the church. However, I think our pastors dealt with it quite well, and the teaching around alcohol and the use and the dangers of it has been quite good. So that is definitely something. And amongst my mates, we haven't had my mates haven't had any major accidents when they've, you know, been acting out that way. However, you know, you do hear stories of like other people around town with like news articles, and because it's sort of that still small town, you sort of know everyone.
Sure.
And you know, you do hear those stories of things happening. And for example, my second cousin, so my father's cousin, he was studying law at university.
Okay.
And while out on the drink one night, dived into a pool only sort of 20 centimeters deep, and now he's a quadriplegic. So
you're joking.
Yeah, there's, you know, you can definitely tell the dangers of it, but you know, we can just be faithful as Christians. And
that's the interesting part, I guess, is that no matter where you are, whether you're in Sydney, Tamworth, Newcastle, no matter where you live, there's always the challenge of trying to live the best Christian life you can.
Yep.
And the only way you can do that in the right way is by staying close to God, staying in your Bible, and trying to please Him as much as you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you said you're in Bible college. What's your goal? What's your end game?
Yeah, so I feel as though that the Lord is directing me to go and study Bible college. I've committed to a which is normally a 1 year full-time course, which I'm doing it over 2 years part-time. Once I've finished that.
Where at?
Victoria Bible Baptist.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah. I believe you do yours at Veritas, is that right?
I'm at Veritas, yeah.
I looked very closely at Veritas.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of how they do it, because it gives you half. It gives you goals that you need to complete by certain dates, but you can still do it at your own pace at the same time. It's not just self-paced and go do it however quickly you can. You still have assignment dates, you still have homework dates, which gives me a good structure and doesn't like let me lose focus.
Yeah,
that works for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Victoria, you're doing that via remote learning, or what's the
remote learning. Everything's on Zoom at the moment. I suppose COVID sort of, any college or university which didn't have an online function has sort of been...
I think everyone was pushed in that direction eventually.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, post-college, I think I'm just going to continue serving in my local church at Harvest. And wherever the Lord leads, I'll always keep the door open and evangelizing and doing, you know, mission trips. That, you know, is something which is quite close to my heart.
So that's why you and Adam get along then?
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, the travelling, yeah.
Then let me ask you, why Bible college? Why'd you take that step?
I'm not sure. I suppose
we've got a phone ringing, mate. There you go. Look at that. I guess the silence the phone at the start thing didn't really faze you too much, eh?
Did you tell me to silence?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Oh, I can't. Might do it now then, eh? It's still ringing.
Brilliant. Life of a busy man. Anyway, so yeah, why'd you go to Bible college? What was the point?
I'm not sure why I was feeling led to do so, but I definitely did have a desire to learn more about God's word, and how to be a good disciple and minister well. So
okay, so take me to the decision then. Do you remember the time you made the decision to go to Bible college?
I think, I was talking with my pastor, Lyndon.
How old were you?
This was probably at the beginning of 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. And I said, look, I feel as though I'm being led towards ministry and, in the way of evangelizing. What sort of, what do I do? And he's like, well, you can do Bible college. And then that sort of sat well. And I prayed about it, and the Lord opened the door at VBBC for the beginning of this year. At the start, I actually didn't want to attend VBBC.
Okay. Why
not? I'll leave that off there.
Nice. Yeah, that's fair enough.
But now I'm very happy that I ended up here, and
it's interesting you say that, and the reason I questioned it was because I was the same way. I didn't want to go to Bible college at all.
Yeah, right.
I wanted nothing to do with it. I had started my church's internship program, and we just started doing it, and pastor just kept nailing it into me. Go to Bible college, and I was adamant. I hate studying. I hate it with a passion.
Too. Yeah.
It's not me. But pastor said, it's going to be the most beneficial thing you do.
Yep.
I want you to do at least a year. So I said, all right, very reluctantly.
Yep.
And I jumped in, and VBC Pastor Skelly happened to be here at the time, so it worked out. And he said to me, listen, just take a look at ours and see what you think. I took a look, and I said, all right, let's give it a shot.
Yep.
That first year changed, I don't say this lightly, it changed my life.
It's awesome.
In a spiritual way, in the way that I studied the Bible, it was different.
Yeah.
It was no longer just trying to fumble my way through things. I sort of had a purpose in it.
Yeah.
And from that, it went from a year course to now I'm trying to complete a bachelor's degree.
It's awesome.
But that was because I wanted to be in full-time ministry. What I love about what you're saying is that you're just a stock standard bloke trying to live life, but you need to have more. You need to know more about Christ. And I think that's very uncommon today.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Bible college is seen as a thing for a specific few rather than something everyone should try and do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so as well. I'd actually recommend every Christian at least do 1 year of Bible college. Like even if you have no aspirations of going into ministry, the like you've said, the growth that I've had in the last 12 months has been amazing. Just how to read the Bible when preparing messages, what to look for, the way that you read the Bible, looking at the different purposes as to what the writers were writing for and about, and how in all that God has inspired it to be applicable to us today. So it's amazing.
Do you find that it's changed the way you look at Christianity as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely.
In what way?
I would say that it's definitely not a religion. Christianity is not like a stock standard earthly religion. How, yes, we have a God, yes, we have a Lord, but it's the way that we live. It's, I don't know how to articulate.
I'm following where you're going.
Yeah,
it's the way I always explain it is it's not a set of rules we're following. We're trying to sort out a relationship with Christ.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the biggest difference. And what Bible college did for me was was giving me more knowledge about that relationship. And I think that's the thing that I guess we all sort of get scared of. I mean, in the normal Christian life, Bible college is seen as for the few, the guys that are going to become pastors or whatever it is. But I think
there's an expectation there that if you're doing Bible college, that you must go into
100%
something afterwards, which I would encourage you that even though some might have that expectation, that if the Lord does call you to do Bible college, even for a short period of time, that you keep your mind open, because quite often Bible college can actually open up what the Lord has for you.
Yeah, 100%. And I think you're hitting the nail on the head there, because there isn't an expectation coming out of Bible college. And I think you're right. I think every high schooler coming out of school, if they really are serious about their relationship with Christ, should consider a year of Bible college.
Yeah. Just
to help strengthen their foundations and help them to open their horizon to what's going on. Because, go.
Especially as teenagers, even if you've gone to a good, strong doctrinal church, which preaches the Bible as it is written, you can still not absorb everything. You can approach church on Sunday the same way you approach school. You just rock up, you half listen, half don't to the teacher. But by doing Bible college, it's actually a conscious effort that you're choosing to do, not because you have to go or not because you have to do it. And it really cements doctrine. And one issue that I've seen a few young Christians, or a mistake that they made is they've finished school and they've moved out and they've either gone down a sinful path, or they've gone down a path and they got involved in a wrong church, which is bad doctrine, which is can be dangerous as well.
I think you're right there, and I think the big thing that you sort of alluded to is the fact that going to Bible college is a conscious effort, but it's also learning the Bible from people you don't know.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we don't realize, especially growing up within the church, is that you can learn things one way the entire time, but then not realize, hold on, maybe there is a better way to understand this or learn that.
Yeah.
And I think going to Bible college just sort of gives you an open understanding of what the scriptures mean.
Yeah.
Especially if you've grown up in one place, because let's be real, I'll be straight out. Faith Baptist Church is the greatest church of all time. But you're going to say the same. You're going to say the same thing about Harvest. But there's things that Harvest do differently to Faith and Faith do differently to Harvest that we can both learn from, right? Yeah. So that's what Bible college does. It gives you that other perspective of, hold on, I don't need to learn just one way of Christianity. There's other teachers that have other perspectives of what the Bible says, and you can learn from that.
Yeah, 100%.
As well. So, man, how long you got left at your Bible college?
Well, I've just finished the first half of the
So you got half
degree.
left?
So I've got another year, which, because I'm doing the 1 year course part-time, I've got another year left. Then after that, I'll make the decision if I continue on and do the 3-year degree.
Well, good, man. That's awesome. Be praying for you for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You said you got an interest in evangelism.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me about evangelism. Why is it so important? Why should we be doing it? What's the go?
So obviously the Lord's called all of us to be a part of the Great Commission. It's a mandate. Mandates are pretty big in the world today. This
100%.
is one mandate that Christ has given us all, that we must play our part in the Great Commission. So evangelism is one part of the Great Commission, and that is, obviously talking to people and spreading the good news of Christ. We do the planting of the seeds, but the Lord does the growing. And I think it's really important to remember that evangelism is important, but it's not the only part.
It's not the be all and end all,
That's
right?
Yep. Yeah. And we can't just claim numbers like, we think about, great big evangelists like, Billy Graham, for say, how he would have brought so many souls to the Lord, but at the end of the day, it was Christ in which brought them all to the Father. And he just used Billy Graham to plant the seed. So in one sense, you're doing the work as an evangelist, but it is the Lord working through you.
That's a very good point, man, because I think especially, like we were talking about before, going through the motions of church and going through the motions of ministry, it can be so easy to go through the motions of your own Christian life.
Yeah.
I mean, I noticed that with me, especially during the COVID period, it can just be so easy just to wake up, I'm a Christian, and not actually put effort into your relationship with Christ.
Yep.
And I think that's vital.
Yeah, 100%. I find when, we all humans have ebbs and flows.
Of course.
And when I'm lacking in my spiritual walk, it's because I'm not spending enough time in prayer and reading the Word, because obviously that's what builds our spirit up and grows us. So, that's what I find encouraging when I find myself in hard times, is just reminding myself to do the important and the basics, because those two things really are just the basics.
Yeah, for sure.
But we need to plant ourselves on solid foundations to be able to, do ministry well and walk well in our spiritual life.
And just be that light to the community around us. I mean, without that, there's not really a work being done.
100%.
And I think we need to remember that. If it's not for Christ using us, what's he going to use?
Yep.
And who's he going to use? It's
right.
about availability.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get out of that for a moment, and let's go back to the whole wood side of things? Because I'm actually interested. I'm
Firewood,
very interested. Yeah, bro. Firewood, mate.
timber, everything.
Listen, if people know me, they know I like fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
I love fire.
Yep.
I love barbecues. I love fire. Sometimes I'll just light a fire in my barbecue just to watch the fire go. So, listen, I had a mate.
Lucky you're saved.
I had a mate come over once. I go, bro, come over. I'm going to just light a fire in the barbecue. Come hang out. He goes, all right, no worries. He came over. We sorted it out. He goes, all right, so where's the meat? I go, what meat?
Wow.
He goes, we're not having a barbecue? I go, nah, man. Just wanted to light a fire. The guy got so angry, he didn't say a word. He stood up and walked out. He goes, I'm done. He just left. So talk to me about wood. Like, how did you get into it? Besides it being a family thing, which is a stock standard, like, why'd you say, yeah, okay, I'm going to get into that?
So basically, when I was like 11, 12, my uncle, he was selling little bagged firewood into service stations, but he lived about 2 hours from Tamworth, and it wasn't worth his time bringing, the bags in and stocking it up every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So he asked if I wanted to take that on, and what I'd have to do is just, he'd split the firewood for me, and then I'd bag it up into bags, and then I'd, with mum, I would take it to the servo and fill them up, and I did that for a couple of years, and then when I got my Ps, I started selling trailer loads of timber, and then one thing led to the next. I ended up buying a processor, which is a commercial machine which processes logs into firewood, and this year basically we've been doing that and selling at a wholesale scale. So it all started with little bags,
and then moving up.
Yeah, that's right.
I love that. So this has really become a family sort of endeavor.
Yeah, that's right. I'm the main one that does it, but it's owned by the family plus one other.
So what do you call yourselves?
Firewood Corp.
Firewood Corp.
Yeah.
Very good. I like it. Simple, straight to the point.
Yeah.
That's the stock standard stuff right there. It's good.
Yeah.
Where can they find you? Like if they want to get firewood, or do you guys just do industrial, or what's the
We do. We have another business name. It's called Off the Block Firewood for the residential sort of things. So, your bags and your trailer loads. You can find us on Facebook. That's the main one. Just Off the Block Firewood. And yeah, so that's probably
all right. Off the Block Firewood guys, get on it. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, do you guys just mainly do Tamworth area for the residential stuff?
Yeah, for the residential stuff for now. However, as it grows, we'll end up, sourcing out. And any of you Sydney folks know a lot of your followers are in Sydney. If you ever need firewood, I can point you into the direction of a couple of yards who I sell to.
You know what I like about this? I can finally say I have a wood guy.
Yeah.
I've got a firewood guy. I know who to go to when I need firewood. That's brilliant.
Excellent.
That's the way to go right there.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, Brock, let's end this off then. Let's close this out. But we close it out in one way every single time. We ask our guest, I chuck you into a DeLorean and I send you back 10 years. Okay, so you're 20, so you're 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Half my life ago.
All right, there you go. So you ask 10-year-old Brock, you got to give him one piece of advice. What's the piece of advice you're giving him?
Ooh.
It's a hard one.
It is a very hard one. Read.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you say that?
I don't like reading. Still don't like reading. However, I found that reading not only Bible but other books. I like growth books and things along those lines, and self-development. And I would encourage him to get into those earlier. So I believe that reading benefits you in so many different ways, but I think just learning that discipline to sit down and read is probably...
Especially now, in a time where it's so hard to just sit down and focus on something.
Yeah.
Do you have a recommendation, book recommendation, one of your favourites?
Yes. Oh, it's a habit book. It's my favourite book. I can't remember the exact one. Maybe you can put it in the description.
How favourite is this? Wow, I can't talk today. How is this your favourite book if you don't know the name of it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm terrible with names. Same with songs. I can know lines of songs and everything, but names are awful. Like even named with people last night. Like last night at Faith, you know, people introduce themselves. Then 30 seconds later, I'm like, I can't even say goodbye, such and such, because like I forgot your name. It's like 30 people there, but no, 54.
There was 50 something. Yeah, there's a lot.
I struggle with names.
So you struggle with names in general?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I ask you your favorite Christmas song, could you give it to me or no?
I'll just have to make one up or that I know a name of. So maybe like Jingle Bells, because you're insane.
You're insane. I love it. So read.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gents, go read something. I
Absolutely.
guess. Read the book he wants you to read, but he doesn't know the name of it.
You'll put it up on the screen or something, just like right here. Is that right?
So you want me to do more work now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put it up right here, guys. Read that book. I appreciate you doing this, man.
All good.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gents, you can they find you online? Are you on social medias?
Yeah.
Where can they find you?
Instagram is blaze.morley. Blaze is my nickname.
I like that because of the fire.
It ties in quite well, doesn't it?
Very good.
Yeah, so blaze.morley or just on Facebook, Block Morley, however you like to.
Nice, man. Well, ladies and gents, thank you so much for jumping on to talk to me this week. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like all the videos. It helps us a lot more than you'd realize. Leave us a comment. Tell us if you want us to stop or you want us to keep going. Let us know. Brock, thanks for talking to me, man.
Thanks, Ray.